Disda, hello and welcome to another episode of The Bright Side. Today, I'm heading into Penzance to see some of the new buildings that are under construction, that have been completed, some buildings that are no longer there. All the changes happening in Penzance. Well, I don't know about all of them, but some of them. So let's go check it out. Goodness. I think the little pond here in Penlee Park is overflowing. I am en route to my first destination, but I've just got a little errand to run in town a minute, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. But we did visit the Penlee House Gallery Museum the other day, which was really interesting. Been years and years since I've been in there. And Mr. Tippett's bike, his like penny farthing bike that he constructed, still in there. How amazing is that? I assume a photograph of Mr. Bramwell. I assume that's Mr. Bramwell, former owner of this beautiful property, really. Yeah, we had a good time in there. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to watch that video. First port of call after completing my little errand is West Cornwall Hospital, because what massive changes at the front. So this is an artist's rendition of the project, obviously the original main entrance, blah blah blah, and then this has been, or is being built on the site of where the car park used to be. Now the last time I focused here, let me just cross the road a minute to get a better aspect. The last time I focused was quite a few months ago actually, and I did say that I would keep you up to date. I have failed in that. However, the building has obviously topped out. Exterior is looking just about there. Obviously a huge amount of work left to do. It was originally slated for a March 2025 opening, but I believe that has been pushed back by another month or two. Yeah, it's interesting to see how far along it's come. Last time I focused on it, it was just a collection of girders. Skip through the road. I mean, it'll try and get that side aspect. If I remember, there was a little gap here in the construction wall, so you could peer in. Yes, here it is. Obviously that footpath is closed. And obviously I'm not going to venture down onto hospital property. Plus it does say keep out. But it's just quite interesting to have like that backside view, as it were. Lots of scaffolding still on the rear of the extension. So like I said, definitely a lot of work to be completed before it opens. So whether it opens on time, as in the new slated time, I don't know. But yes, positive for the hospital. Obviously the community is, quite often saying that, is West Cornwall going to close, blah, blah, blah. But, it's a load of rubbish. Of course, West Cornwall's not going to close. And, this project, which must have cost $1 million or $2 million, definitely proves that. So, yeah, there it is. There's like the side aspect. Can't really get into too many places. At the end of the day, it is a hospital. And I'm not going to focus on, the front of the hospital too much, just in case I inadvertently film people going in and whatnot. But yeah, not the prettiest of buildings, it has to be said. I think for those who live literally right opposite the hospital, to wake up to this every morning isn't the nicest of views. Probably it's not original, but the older section here, probably a little bit more attractive with its architecture rather than just this like box. But ultimately it's good for the community, and it's going to be the new outpatients. I can't remember if I said that, but that's what it's going to be. It's going to replace the existing outpatients, which is around the back. I'll take a little stroll up there in a minute. But yeah, so there it is. So quite a lot of progress here at the front of West Cornwall Hospital. Brilliant. And that is the original outpatients that is set to be replaced. The actual building, I don't believe is going to be demolished. I think it's going to be repurposed. Some people were saying, well, if it was scat down, you could potentially put a new car park up here, but I'm not so sure if that's going to happen. But yeah, there's the old outpatients, which yeah, it's going to be replaced by the building out the front. Another view there of the outpatients department. Again, yeah, not being demolished. It's going to be repurposed, to my knowledge. Goodness. Yeah, a little bit windy. Did sprinkle with rain just then, but hopefully that's not going to rear its head. Although I am in my brand new... Goodness, that was very bright. Although I am in my brand new raincoat. I have still heard nothing more about Fountain Court. It's been closed now to residents for, must be nearly 3 years, I would imagine. The building was found to be structurally unsafe, so residents were, well, moved out. It's all been boarded up on the bottom, and it is scheduled apparently for demolition, but again, I haven't heard anything on that. I don't know when that's set to begin, but there it is. So Fountain Court is still standing, but I don't know for how much longer. If you know, let me know in the comments. Desolate looking building. Very desolate, not helped by the fact that we've got this rain coming in, and it's windy, and it's January, but hey ho, it's blue sky though. But anyway, yeah, if you know what's going on with Fountain Court, let me know in the comments. On to one of the more controversial builds in recent years in Penzance. At the top of Causeway Head, it is finally completed. I don't know if it's open yet. I will walk down that way in a minute and have a little closer look. Some people were for this development. Some people were adamantly against this development. What are your thoughts? Still quite a few Christmas decorations up. As of recording of this, it's actually the 6th. I thought that decorations had to be down by the 6th. I don't know, who knows? I think there's always a bit of confusion as to when the decorations come down for Christmas. It was like this little artist rendition of Causeway Head back in the day. Farmer there with his pigs. Yeah, the little funny things you see. He's got like his fish. There's a dog there, maybe looking at the pigs. Violin player. Yeah, I like that. And actually, I don't know how new this is. It's been a little while since I've been in town. Mountains Bay windows, I've never noticed that before on the side of the garage. To be honest, I still don't really know what this building is. I heard it was like some sort of like art hub, but I'm not sure if that is correct. I expect a lot of money was spent building it. They had to tear down like all the old wall. Used to be the car park in there. Prior to the car park, of course, there was probably something in there prior, but it was the old town reservoir that is, you know, obviously buried deep underneath all this now. But yeah, I think people are saying, I think what I hear is that it's just not in keeping. You know, so I mean, I don't think that this is, I mean, I actually quite like the building itself. I don't think the building is unattractive. You know, it's contemporary, it is quite nice looking. I just think it's in the wrong place because it just doesn't suit Causeway Head, which is, you know, arguably quite a historic street. I think it used to be called North Street back in the day. I'm pretty sure it was called North Street. If you know, let me know in the comments. But I think that's like the thing, isn't it? You've just got like these old buildings. Granted, they could do a little bit of a tidy up because they are a little bit run down looking, some of them. But you know, they're quaint. They're nice. They're old buildings, and then you have this that is just been put there. And like I said, I don't think it's an unattractive building. I think it's, you know, it's okay. It's just not quite in the right place. States here, Pixel, forward space. Main entrance is on Clarence Street, so I suppose this then must be the back door of it. But yeah, again, give me your thoughts. Is this, you know, does someone just make a lot of money out of building this? Or, you know, does it have a legitimate purpose? Is it good for the town? Is it bad for the town? Again, let me know your thoughts. As always, drop me a comment. Right, I'm gonna nip down to the prom just to see if the ground has been cleared at the site of the former tailor's garage. We'll have a little look down there, and depending on the time, maybe on my way home, might pick up a pasty from somewhere. I could eat a pasty, but it is a little bit early in the morning, so I'm not too sure if I'll be getting a pasty, but we'll see. Yeah, I do quite like to pan the camera around Penzance. Again, when you look up, when you stop and look up, there's some lovely buildings, some lovely old architecture, but it is quite nice to focus on. I think it's quite a nice town in many ways. This street is certainly nice. I like it anyway. I'm sure there's lots of people out there that are thinking, what the heck are you talking about? But you know, you've got the old Savoy here. Oldest cinema in the entire UK. Longest running, at least. It's been a cinema since something like about 1912. There's a little plaque up here, but as usual, they put the plaque about 10 feet up in the air. Yeah, 1912. I think movie making is a lot different to what it used to be. This makes me laugh because Penzance, you know, it's like 9:30 already, and yet there's hardly anyone around. There's a few people, you know, going about their business, popping in and out to some of the shops, but and relatively speaking, for, you know, a town, I mean, it's it's like there's no one around. You got to Camborne at this time, and it's like buzzing. Okay, I usually walk down Chapel Street, but I'm gonna just walk down Queen Street a minute. The former Ritz Cinema. Just gonna step up here a minute on this weird, wonky pavement. Yeah, it's in a little bit of a state at the minute. They are apparently starting to work on it. I believe, I want to say that Merlin's whatever they're called, the people who own the cinema, I want to say they own it. They've bought it, and they're going to make it into like a theatre again. I don't think it'll be a cinema, but yeah, this was slated for demolition about a decade ago, but that's not happening now. It was built back in the 30s, I want to say mid-30s. Obviously, like this Art Deco style. I assume it's like Art Deco. I'm not an expert on architecture. It's definitely seen better days. So let's hope that it is being nicely refurbished. Hasn't been a cinema for, I don't think it's been a cinema for decades. I don't remember it as a cinema. I don't think I do anyway. Yeah, it definitely needs a little bit of love given to it, but hopefully that's going to happen. There's the other side of it. Obviously builders in there, they're doing something because the back door there is open. There's a building van, or like a truck thing here. Bit of like scrim there, so obviously, yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see work being done. I'm obviously not going to walk inside because it's a building site, but yeah, there it is. The old Ritz Cinema, hopefully being brought back to its former glory. That'll be lovely if that's the case. Got some quite nice little cottages lining this side of Queen Street, and I assume at some point these would have been old cottages as well. I believe that's how it was, but obviously this side, for whatever reason, were all demolished to make way for this. Can't say I particularly remember them being built. I think this side is slightly more attractive with its little old Victorian cottages and whatnot. I think that is nicer than this, but you know, what can you do? So I like to put in these videos every so often, just like pepper these, almost like these little walk and talk videos where we have a little look around Penzance, see what's going on. Like I said, I'm not going to inundate the content of the channel with these little walk and talks around Penzance, but I think it's nice just to keep updated and just to show you guys the progress of our town. Not entirely sure what that building is used for now. States up there, National School, 1871. Obviously going back a little bit, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure what's in there now. Maybe apartments, flats, I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. Oh, and it's raining again. Why isn't it falling as snow? I never get anything I want. Some lovely old townhouses here. Oh, beautiful. I expect some of them are, you know, like, that says guest accommodation, yeah, so I assume some of them are going to be like bed and breakfast, that type of thing. But yeah, how beautiful are these homes here? A guest house. Lombard house. Yeah, it's another B&B. I haven't walked up around here for years. Yeah, obviously walked down Queen Street and came a different way. Yeah, I haven't had a good old stank around these parts for quite some time. Anyway, leads down onto the promenade, if you're not familiar with Penzance. We're going to walk in that direction. Oh, see that swell down there? Oh yeah. Surprising though, because for actually quite a windy, stormy day, and the bay itself isn't too terribly rough. I suppose it all comes down to the wind direction. I'm obviously facing the bay and the wind is coming in off of my back, so the wind is going in that direction. So I suppose we haven't got the crashing storm, you know, like the crashing waves. Like I said, there's certainly some waves down there hitting the promenade a minute ago, and you can see that swell down there. Yeah, interesting. Right, so again, former site of Taylor's Garage, demolished a couple of months back, or maybe about a month ago, just before Christmas. And now what I see is that the car park itself here at St Anthony Gardens is now all cordoned off, because apparently there's going to be changes done to there as well. I'm not 100% sure what they're doing to the actual car park, but it does look like access to the gardens has finally been stopped. I will have a bit of a look around there in a minute and see how close I can get and show you guys. But yeah, looks like the work to the gardens is starting. And I think again, I don't think anyone was particularly sad to see the loss of Taylor's Garage, because that was a right eyesore. But I do think people are quite upset about the changing of the gardens here, because actually, yeah, I think that's quite a nice green space, and I don't know, who knows if they're going to get that right. Right, I'm going to walk around the back and see what else I can see. It states there very clearly that the road is closed. Hopefully not to pedestrians. I think we're okay. But yeah, very clearly also barred off here. Yeah, Taylor's garage completely leveled. Let's just go down here a minute. Yeah, totally leveled, but the rubble is still there. We'll have another look on the other side in a minute just to get that different aspect. But again, no access to the gardens now. They've closed this old gate, and I don't know, hopefully it doesn't get ruined. And the thing that must be maintained in there is the old fountain, which is there. You see the tippy top of it there, the old fountain. That needs to stay, because I mean, if that is removed and got rid of, that would be tragic in my opinion. Actually, you could wonder if it'll ever end up, that fountain did used to be in front of St John's Hall. It'd be kind of cool if it was put back there. But anyway, yeah, there is the former Taylor's garage. I did cover it being demolished. Oh, I don't know when it was done. Last year, late last year. I'll leave a link in the description if you can see those videos. Or if they're not too far back in the playlist, to be honest, you could probably just scroll back in the content and find the demolition footage. But yeah, all gone. Yeah, when I was last here, all this area was still standing. So they have obviously moved ahead and got rid of the rest of the building. You can see through to the other side of the street, which is quite weird. We'll have a little look that way a minute. Try not to focus too much on the fence. Yeah. looks wild, actually. Again, if you've lived in Penzance all your life, you'll be like, what the heck? And I've pointed out this lovely building before at the bottom of Chapel Street. I do love that building. Look at that. That is fantastic, isn't it? Look at the architecture there. Again, like I always say, take a moment when you're in your hometown, no matter where you live. Always just take a moment and look up. Look at some of these beautiful buildings that we don't necessarily see all the time because we're busy with life and so forth. Oh yeah, yeah, this side is gone. They've had to be very careful here. Obviously they need to be careful with how they demolish that section, because obviously these buildings are remaining. They're someone's houses, someone's home rather. But yeah, it's wild to see this side of it gone. Look at that beautiful sky over there, amazing. Gosh, you can literally, from here, Cornish Hall Street. No, that's Cornish Hall Street. I'm drawing a blank on what this one's called. Anyway, the dock inn is down there, you know where I am. But yeah, I mean, just to be standing here and looking at that building is weird. Yeah, wild to see. And again, they have very skillfully removed this section of building, leaving that half there, the Sea Palace. I've been in there for years, actually. I don't know if it's any good anymore. It used to be alright, I think, if I remember, but who knows. But yeah, I'm always quite impressed with like demolition work, how they can, keep one side intact and completely scat down the other half. And as part of the harbour redevelopment, time really is ticking now for one of my favourite restaurants, the Waterside Meadery. Do love the Waterside Meadery. Gonna have to go there soon because it's only got, well, a couple of months left before it closes permanently, and then all this is going to be demolished. What a shame. I think this is a very ill-conceived plan, if I'm being honest. Thriving business, lovely restaurant. Yeah, what a shame. That is a shame. So yeah, if you want if you want some fried chicken down at the Meadery, down at the Waterside, then you're going to need to come very toot sweet, because a couple of months it'll be gone. History will be erased. What a shame. Our national flag there, looking a little bit raggedy there. could do with a new flag outside of the bimbo. Yeah, a little bit torn up. And I've asked this question before on the channel, but what the heck is happening with the site here, the former Ganges restaurant? This just needs to be forced purchased, and I don't know where the money would come from, but something needs to happen. I mean, look at the windows up there, they're all smashed. This, you know, I mean, this is a historic building that is beautiful, and it needs to be bought very fast so that it can be, you know, done up a bit, because the way it's going, it's just going to end up having to be demolished. And I think for a building that's probably nearly 300 years old, I'd imagine, that would be tragic. I mean, look at like that brickwork up there. And what the heck? I mean, I don't know if this should be on some sort of national register. I mean, I can see there's a hole in the roof. I mean, this building is just getting worse and worse and worse. And like I said, it's so old, it needs to be forced purchased. If I was like a kooky millionaire, I would just buy it and then do it up, because something's got to happen, because very soon we're going to end up losing this, and that's just going to be tragic. Right, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Just opposite the Ganges, I've always loved this geek anchor here. Look at the size of it. Here on display of sorts, I suppose. Goes all the way up to the like the top of that house almost. Anchor from HMS Association, a flagship of Sir Cloudesley Shovel, wrecked on rocks off of the Isles of Scilly, 22nd of October 1707. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? That is cool, I like that. Imagine being called Cloudesley Shovel. Right, it's never too early for a pasty. It's only 10 o'clock, but I just popped into the butcher's, and I've just procured a butcher's pasty, and I'm just going to get a coffee on my way home in the little deli on the corner here. Is it the Cornish Hen? I think it's called the Cornish Hen. We'll get a little coffee in there, and then we'll head home. Okay, coffee procured, and I've just walked out into a little cloudburst. So I'm going to head home as quickly as I can. Pasty's in my bag. I'm just going to eat it at home, and then we'll do some form of outro at some point. Goodness, it's hailing on me. I'm being stung. Back home now. Look at this. The pastry does look very nice. A little bit broken on that side, but I don't mind that because you get a bit of like oozage. Yeah, this is looking quite good. And the butcher's pasties, they still rate very highly with me. For a long time, in my opinion, they were the best pasty in Penzance by a country mile. But they've become a little bit inconsistent of late. They haven't been quite as good. You know, you can go in and you can still go in and get a fantastic pasty. Next day, then you can go in and it's not so good. Which is why I've tended to go to loaves of late, because actually consistently they're really good pasties. But I must say, like I said, looking at this pastry feels lovely. So I'm hoping that this is going to be delicious. Never say no to a pasty at 10:21 a.m. We are going to leave the video there. I do hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to do all the usual YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, smash the bell. Check us out on all of our socials at The Bright Side. So from us to you, cheers and gone. And this coffee is very nice as well. I do recommend a coffee from the Cornish Hen delicatessen. Not the biggest of coffees. You know, it's not like a Starbucks or something like that, but yeah, nice coffee.